We're gonna check to make sure we're actually around this time. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
What's up, guys?
Sorry about the 5 minute late start. I forgot to change my stream key. It's a common occurrence out here, unfortunately. But this is the game between our namesake Kappa Corp team versus Papito and SCL. I'm still not quite sure what that is, but hey, we're here to play, you know? And currently it looks like we're getting some relatively standard bans, especially for this current wave of game, you know. Baba Yaga, Chernobog, Kulkin, none of those really surprise me. Athena, Bastet, Mom, and Brigitte. Again, the only surprise there actually is the Bastet. It seems like Kappa Corp has been doing their homework.
Yeah, that's actually you say Kukulkan is he a prio band now with this new new patch?
With the way the mid meta has ended up shifting, you kind of have your big two right now. You have Thoth, you have Kukulkan. They are the easy secure mages. They are your mages that will end up causing the most trouble for everyone else involved. And they are the ones that will be really deciding how the game is done, right? Around objectives, specifically. They're your secure. And that's how the mid-meta has been for a while now. Baba Yaga actually has fallen out of favor of a lot of teams. So I'm a bit surprised to see that getting banned. But I'm not surprised to see Poseidon and Morgan Le Fay locked in for these first two.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Morgan Le Fay, I'm a huge Morgan
and
Le Fay
Thoth
fan. Like,
is also in the contention here. This
very... Go ahead.
This is a powerful top two from Kappa Corp.
Oh, absolutely. Like, I will always be an advocate for Morgan Le Fay. Like, she is probably my favorite mage of all time. And I like quite a bit of the mages, but I just love her kit the most. Like, you pretty much got Fear No Evil. It's not as strong, yes, but I mean, I think like her one hits a lot harder than Fear No Evil. I mean, yes, it is a smaller cone, but it does a significant amount of damage.
It does quite the amount of damage, and you know, as we get farther into this draft, I'm liking just about everything I see from these top threes.
Wow. Instant Thana pick.
So,
they didn't even discuss. They just went straight for Thanatos.
Yes, this is a red pepper special. If it is like we have seen previously with Red Pepper's Thanatos, I'm expecting some good things, maybe some bad things. But it should be a fun time. Hopefully he doesn't
go Arachne in this set. Hopefully he doesn't go Arachne
yes.
That last set.
Oh, yes. If he goes the Arachne, it's going to be quite the tragedy, honestly.
Yeah, but, okay, the Ganesh and Geb makes a lot of sense. And the On Her Khepri.
You know, banning out a very powerful duo lane, something that will help with the dive from the side of Kappa Corp, makes a lot of sense for the supports. The Ganesh and the Geb, two extremely simplistic, linear, engage supports. Makes a lot of sense for that ban too. Easy peel, easy confirm, easy CC, and easy safety. However, I do want to talk about these top fours now, actually, as an Izanami gets locked in. That's a bit weird.
Yeah, that's a ZZ special. I've played against him personally. In some scrim matches. He is very, very dangerous on this Izanami. Very annoying god to deal with, because her clear in the first 5 minutes is free, in my opinion. I will always be an advocate for, if you pick an Izanami, you better be winning lane, because if you're not, you might want to reconsider things. Yes. You should instantly win lane.
Izanami, a lot of early game clear, a lot of early pressure. I'm expecting Kappa Corp to play around their duo side quite a bit and leave Loshak on their own to farm. But, on the other hand, I expect the Rat to play through this Poseidon. Wherever this Poseidon is going, I fully expect this Rat to be.
I can see Poseidon, if based on how their comp is, Poseidon might be a flex pick for either mid or solo.
There is a lot of flexibility, and this doesn't answer any questions, actually.
Really, Disco can also do solo as well. I thought she was.
As was played by one of the people in the SBL Fine OK on the Leviathans. Discordia solo can be an extremely potent late game tool and offer quite a bit of utility. Discordia being just tanky enough to where they can sustain through a lot of these different sources of damage is extremely potent with Strife being taken into account, right? That CC that, similar to Circuit Taunt, is extremely potent on a frontliner. Now, that being said, I think Poseidon likely going to be the sole laner here. He has a better matchup into Morgan Le Fay. He tends to hold his own a bit more. He tends to farm a bit more easily. But I would not be surprised if it goes one way or the other.
I'm surprised he's still looked at for that little nerf high res did to him. I mean, I guess it wasn't significant enough for him not to be still picked. I guess he's still pretty viable.
The Poseidon nerfs didn't really do much. A lot of what that nerf was centered around, while it did hurt him a little bit, it didn't quite hurt his farm in the way that it needed to, and he's still more than capable of farming through more or less every stage of the game to get to late as fast as possible and still be that potent, secure mage.
And Kappa Corp really talk about this support pick, which makes a lot of sense because Horus is a very strong pick. Like Rama Horus, that's gonna be a very interesting lane. This is gonna be a brawl for duo.
You know, I would like to think so, but knowing Geo and what Geo should have in the back pocket, if he decides to pull it out here, I fully expect this lane to go to Kappa Corp. And he did not. I was expecting the Nox. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, dude. I love me some Nox support. My AA, my support for my team, his Nox support is very dangerous, and Nox support is actually really annoying. She has that silence little bubble thing or whatever you want to call it. She has that like I haven't played Nox in so long, so I barely remember her abilities, but she has like that she has that stun that just leaves you there, and even her ultimate can do quite a bit of damage even as a support.
You know, and I tend to agree. Nox is one of the more annoying characters in the game. However, with this team comp from Kappa Corp and the team comp from Papito, I am fully expecting a lot of brawling, lots of team fighting towards that late game, and a lot of camping the duo first to facilitate a little bit of a lead for the late game for Kappa Corp. Now, that doesn't mean that Papito is completely out of it. If Papito utilizes those global ultimates well, specifically the Ratatosker and the Horus, if they get their ROM far enough ahead to where the Izanami factor doesn't matter, and if they bully out Red Pepper at all, or Fallen, the mid laner, I'm expecting a bit more fight back. Now, that being said, it all comes down to play on field, and we're going to wait for a little bit.
Yeah, it seems like there is a moment, taking a moment to cue us in.
They didn't turn on low delay spectator out of spite for us in particular, so don't you worry about it.
Yeah, I guess they don't like us very much.
I mean, that's part of it. You know, it is what it is. It's how it be sometimes, you know, as all good upper management does. They tend to ignore their lowly wage slaves.
Exactly. You know, that's what we're here for. We're just here to cast some games and have some fun. So I'm assuming this would be a best of 3, correct?
I would assume so. However, I am uncertain. It could be a best of 1 for all I know. I honestly have no idea. However, if it was a best of 1, I am surprised that Geo did not pick the Nox. So I imagine it's likely to be a best of 3, but we'll just have to see after this game.
Yeah. Do you think Maui fits in this comp? I mean, I can kind of see it, with his little leap and his little CC at the end of his leap. I can kind of see it. I mean, pulling him back in once they're CC, Thoth can CC them, but I don't know. It's just like I feel like he needed to be a more aggressive support to match the horse. I don't think Maui can.
So, I'd argue Maui is one of these supports that can flex between aggression and safety in a very consistent way. However, the reason Maui works in this comp, whereas a few other gods might not, is due to that landfall ultimate. That Maui ultimate that can and will cause 3, 4, 5 people from the enemy team to be right in line for your Thoth, right in line for everyone else on the side of Kappa Corp, right? It's extremely potent. And can most definitely be the win factor for Kappa Corp here.
Yeah, I can agree to that. Taking a minute. I mean, I don't know if this is a delayed or so. Oh, that's what it is. They're waiting for a pause because looks like their mid laner is having like some connection.
The pause quite went through, but this is likely just us on spectate, waiting for the Discordia to actually load in. I imagine we'll see that timer go way back up after the Discordia loads back.
Well, this is interesting.
Yeah, you know, it's part of the joy of spectating Smite game. Yep, there it is.
Yep,
this
there
is how
it
the
is.
game
You were
starts.
right. Okay. Yep, you were right. You were right. I mean, I wasn't really doubting you, but you know.
No, it's okay. You can doubt me.
You seem to know a lot more about this stuff than I do. I'm still kind of learning how all this stuff works.
Yeah, it's part of spectating games for, oh god, 6 years? 6 years.
Wow. Okay, so you do have quite a bit of experience.
Not with casting, not with real spectating, but I do have a bit of experience spectating my own games, and it's, you know, one of the easiest ways to help yourself improve.
Right. Not a fan of the I cannot say it. The starter for support. I'm just gonna say that.
The benevolence.
Yes, I'm not a fan of it personally. I feel like Sentinels gives a lot more value to a team, especially I think it's Sentinel's Embrace gives a lot more value than Heroism. I think is what the normal upgrade is. If I'm
so
right.
The reason I honestly prefer the heroism in this specific comp, and the reason I do is we have Discordia Strife. We have Discordia Ult, which should be able to proc that. We have Rat Engage, their primary source of engage, that will proc that heroism. We have Rat Stun. We have the Kraken. We have Horus CC. There's quite a bit of strong engage CC on the side of Papito that would allow heroism to go extremely hard here. It's going to be
oh no,
hard.
the Rama has forgotten the food. I cannot tell you the times that I have also forgotten food. But during league matches, it's important to make sure you're on top of your game. And him not having that food, it's gonna be an issue for him once Izanami has gooseberries.
So the weird thing with Izanami is gooseberries is actually not as beneficial as you would hope for. But that being said, with Rom versus Izanami in the duo lane, it is easy for both of them to have a late start, as there was a bit of a
Horus
scrap.
is very low.
There was a bit of a
Horus.
scrap in the duo lane, as it looks like Horus ended up getting hooked in by Maui. And you know what they say, when you got a fish in a barrel, you might as well shoot it. And that's what our ADC from Kappa Corp seems to have been doing.
And it seems like in mid as well, they're kind of backing off a little bit. No, they're just doing this side camp. Never mind. I thought they were getting aggressed on, but no, they're just doing the side camp.
So that tends to be the... that was a sad time to go back for a jungler. Yep.
I didn't.
Beautiful heal from Geo, beautiful CC, and beautiful damage. However, looks like Papito a bit harder in their damage, a bit more concise with their targeting of the ADC, and it causes maybe a bit of pressure over to Papito. Now that being said, the rat was coming over anyway, and it was known. I'm a bit surprised that the rat did not stay.
Yeah, I'm interested about that too. And Thanatos is kind of just chilling on the left side. It looks like he's going to go for a blue invade. Slowly kind of creeping his way up on there.
What ended up happening is kind of the exact opposite. Oh, that's a bad hook from Geo. But it looks like the exact opposite of what I was personally expecting. It looks like Kappa Corp decided to go towards their Morgan Le Fay and allow them a bit more safety in lane. As, oh my god, they're just trying to bully out the Izanami and are doing so successfully. This is exactly how you have to play this lane as Horus.
Yeah, and that's why that's why I love me some Horus support. He can just
but while
apply that
looking at this, we have a bit of a scrap going over in solo lane. Loshak getting extremely low here, but so is this rat. Oh, but the mid has rotated over. No. Has to force out Pepper's beads. But, oh, wait, the Poseidon extremely low. Dragonflight, good for the disengage, good for the peel.
What is going on?
But unfortunately, Pepper gets a bit greedy.
Ooh, that is so unfortunate. They probably just did not see the rat. I'm not a fan that Loshak is doing this. I understand why he's doing it, because he understands the rat is there. But I don't like when people bring stuff out of the tower. And also, I think he should back right now. Like right then and there, once he clears blue, he backs.
So I tend to agree. However, I do like pulling the camps under the tower when there is an imminent risk of an invade. And there was.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. That is very fair, but yeah, man, Pepper getting that, or Rat getting that first blood on Pepper, that is very, very unfortunate.
You know, and Rat going kind of the standard for Ratatoskers in this current day and age, the Thistlethorn acorn, what I like to call the nut corn.
Yeah, that is a very, very strong corn. I'm surprised no one's going Crit Rat. I remember when Crit Rat was a thing. That was just, very annoying to deal with.
So,
and plus,
Crit Rat, while it is annoying, doesn't offer quite as much in a competitive scene as consistent CC could. As there seems to be a bit of a scrap going on in mid, as looks like Pepper getting chased out, but that's okay. Nothing really substantial happens.
It looks like Rat is coming over to make sure he's there securing the blue, which makes a lot of sense. Mid's kind of just doing mid things, not really anything going on.
It's the thought Discordia lane. Clear lane, farm up, be boring. It's the standard.
Oh, Thanatos is going back up for blue invade, and I think the rat is deep warding. But this is very. Oh, that's a Kraken on it.
Beautiful Kraken. A horrible death scythe as a Pepper falls down for second blood as well.
I don't know. And that's an invade. Oh, Loshak is.
Well, it's not quite an invade yet, as I'm expecting. Oh my God, Fallen in mid is also getting gone on by the Horus. And that did look like a Horus ultimate on Fallen in the mid lane. So at the very least, we know that cooldown is currently down. But blue team is just keeping up with Kappa Corp's aggression.
Oh, and yeah, now okay, now I can see what you're talking about. Like the risk of having it. I don't like Pepper coming in here again because he is 2 levels down. Yeah, the rat's just going to.
But
Oh, but he is getting
there
some
is
help.
the
He is
Thoth. The
ulting
Thoth is
in.
getting some help. But it looks like Thanatos looking for this Poseidon. Just kidding. It's a disengage. Kind of towards the rat. However, he's running straight to blue. Oh my god.
No.
Pepper needs to hit these death sites.
Yeah, that's I think the third one missed. But it looks
As
like
that's a
Maui- Maui's
beautiful final judgment
big
and
play.
landfall combination to kill the mid laner for Papito. Looks like,
It seems like-
we're getting a bit of a
yeah, it seems like-
resurgence from our Kappa Corp boys.
Yeah, and it seems like they're just trying to disengage, and Thanatos just went to farm. I just think he just needs to focus on farm. He is only a level down, probably like a level and a half down, but he really just needs to focus on farm at this point.
Yes, and so even though Papito is a kill up on Kappa Corp currently in the lead, 400 gold ahead, outplaying that macro game.
Right, yeah, that is. I think that is very crucial. You know, you can be up in kills, but what really matters is the gold count. But Fallen just kind of bullying this Rama, which
As
makes
you do as
complete
Izanami.
sense. Yeah, and see, Rama got his started his gooseberries really late, and this is gonna hurt him in the long run. He might not finish it until like the 15-minute marker. Oh, it seems like we're having a little bit of a spectator issues, or
Oh, are we?
yep. It's froze for me on your screen. I could be wrong.
No, we are still spectating, but let me make sure that my secondary stream is going up and running, as a bit of the issue I have with Izanami and Gooseberries was shown there with Fallen Z. Whenever the auto passes through a target, it doesn't actually stack the gooseberries.
I did not know that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
it does not
looks like
count
they're-
as an auto attack damage, even though it
they
does.
Don't know, they don't know. Do they know the rat's there? Okay, yeah,
Yes, they
definitely
do.
know now.
Yes, they definitely
Yep,
do.
they-
There is a ward over there by
Oh, you're
the
right.
Maui.
I did not see that ward. Well, the rat was kind of near Fire Giant. Would it pick that up? Because I do see a ward kind of more towards the center of the map.
Might have, however, the more important thing was Maui was nearby and more than capable of face checking this rat. And with Maui being the first one you see, it's not worth it a lot of the time to actually go in. Unless you can guarantee it's an advantage for you.
Wait, what's that consumable? Is that a War Chalice, Low Shack bot?
Yes, it's Chalice of the Oracle. Hey, stop that, you. It is.
I have never
Chalice of
seen
the
somebody
Oracle.
pick that up.
Why are you not? Oh, well, okay, you can't hover over consumables. That's unfortunate. Chalice of the Oracle is a common pickup for the ranked scene, and a lot of the solo laners that have your standard 2 ward spots, I want to make sure that they constantly have those wards in those spots. It looks like Blue Team was trying to get a little bit cheeky on Kappa Corp's duo lane, but nothing gained and nothing ventured from either side.
Yeah, and Fire Giant will
It
be
looks like
coming up in that
Loshak is having a bit of a scrap contest over in the duo. Sorry, solo.
Well, and then it just stops.
Yeah, that's unfortunately how this early game is going to be. However, I am a bit disappointed in Kappa Corp's seeming lack of aggression after those first few invade attempts.
Wow,
And
look how I'm actually really impressed of how quickly Rama came back with his gooseberries. He's not that far off. He's not that far behind now. I think that's 28 to 22. That's incredible. Like, I guess, both of them are just struggling. They're not really scrapping. They don't want to get those gooseberries up.
no, this is going to be a game that is played around the late game. They don't want these high contention team fights and picks. They want simple, clean, late-game team fights where both of them think that their team fight is better. Now, that being said, I want to see this rat be much more aggressive. I need this Horus to be much more aggressive. That's how you have to play these picks and these roles.
Absolutely. Oh, no, it looks
As
like
Geo is getting gone on by the 3 in mid, but a good solar swing just gets him out. Discordia did use the golden apple there, but everything is perfectly okay. As falling low in the 1v1, looks like both those gooseberries have been stacked up now, as now Rat is in the air and gets the kill on 2.
And that's the Thanatos callback.
But the beads is good. No, the beads is good and the disengage is better. As now Maui is trying to show up to this party. Hooks the ROM, but doesn't get the stun. And the landfall is off the mark. Unfortunately.
Yeah, I don't know if that was really worth.
Kappa
Is he going to try to snipe? Is he going to try to snipe him?
Kappa Corp just trying to go for it, going for anything here.
You did call it. This was going to be a very, very brawly game, and now it's starting to do it because now the first beacon is up. Does the enemy team, do they give it to him? They give it to him for free.
Yeah, there is no contention. They already used the Horizol. All ultimates down on the side of Papito. It's not safe to go up, and it's not safe to be a Ratatosker in your own jungle, buddy. Get bent, brother. As now the golden apple is good and ends up killing Loshak. As now Red Pepper is going for this Poseidon. Beautiful final judgment from Fallen. It gets some damage onto that Soul Laner, but unfortunately it wasn't enough damage to see this through.
Do you think this is a gold call? I think, but do you think Papito contests? Or
I think Papito contests. As
seems like they want to, but that Poseidon is low.
Poseidon is low. Geo is good with the hook, but Discordia is better with the strife for the disengage. But it looks like Kappa Corp, not trying to be deterred here, has Loshak rotating back in for this.
Yeah, and it looks like nope, they're just gonna. Everyone's just gonna chill now. They're just gonna play a waiting game. All right, so nothing happens there. Okay, and interesting. So, nothing too much. Little scramble around Gold Fury, but other than that, it's kind of standard, expected. But the Poseidon, I think, did overstay their welcome a little bit. I mean, I can understand why they were doing it, and seeing Prophetic, very interesting.
So
I don't know if I'm a fan of Prophetic.
I am a fan of Prophetic on very few characters. One of them is Charon, and the other one would be Atlas. Characters that can consistently put out damage and do so safely from range. Yamoja is also a good example. However, what Prophetic offers you that you couldn't get from Gauntlet of Thebes in a larger extent, leaves it lacking to me. Prophetic not quite as good as Fallen is getting gone on by all of the global pressure from Papito. And that's just a clean
This
kill.
Rat is definitely the game changer, and I feel like now Pepper needs to start focusing on that dual lane, because now it seems like Rama can get that lead, and it looks like they're calling a gold call. I do agree with it. They do have Izanami down, but Kappa Corp
the gold call is
it.
good, but Geo is here. Looks like he's trying to look for their secure, as Final Judgment is good for the steal.
Wow.
As Fallen makes it just in time to steal away that Gold Fury.
That's incredible. I'm actually...
That's what happens when you don't have a secure mage. There is no secure on the side of Papito, and there is no objective to be secured. Sorry, Nightmare. Please continue.
No, not a problem. Yeah, kind of blurry, but it seems like now Kappa Corp is kind of just doing the standard stuff. Loshak, it looks like, is maybe want to scramble. It's hard to really tell. It's very, very pixelated, but not a problem at all. It looks like Izanami is going to get the tower for free. Or, yep, Izanami's definitely going to get that tower for free, without a question. So,
For what
and
it's
it looks like
worth, it looks like the stream is currently up without any problems. So I'm not quite sure what's going on, but let me just go ahead and...
now it's starting to clear up a little bit. It looks like we have a scramble around Pyromancer. Nope, and then disengage. Oh no, they're going in.
They're looking to actually engage, but looks like Kappa Corp taking the more appropriate play, falling back, looking for this Pyromancer.
I think the Poseidon's going to try to go for a steal, most definitely.
And
Rat is up, and the Thanatos
looking
is
for the Thanatos off the engage, but a beautiful sigil mastery from Loshak ends up getting the team out. But now it's Fallen getting gone on by the enemy ADC in mid. As now in the air is Rom looking for Fallen, but only finding Geo with 2 snipes.
Yeah, he went for the support. Interesting. I mean, the support's pretty healthy. So, but they're still going for it. I find it very interesting.
Well, and now fortunately for them, there isn't any secure on the side of Papito. And if it's only Loshak for the Pyro, that's going to be a worthwhile trade. But Loshak gets out.
Wow, that's surprising. I am shocked. I'm really shocked too about Poseidon's build, the second item. Really interesting.
This is the standard for Poseidon solo, getting that Shogun's Kusari, having more attack speed. However, what's more surprising to me is the teleport. That's not something you see on mage ADCs for good reason. That lack of safety was what Red Pepper was trying to capitalize on. That being said, if you can't capitalize on it, I suppose it's not a problem. No beads, no Aegis. If you can't kill them, it's not a problem, right?
And if you're looking at the gold's pretty much even. I mean, Pepito, I can never pronounce her name, is barely in the lead, just by like flexing 100 gold-ish. It's like it keeps going back and forth. But what's really the big difference is that XP lead, 4K. That is quite a difference in XP, which is surprising because, if you look at the things, solo is same. Jungle is a big difference, 16 to 14. Mid is the same. Support, I guess, doesn't really matter. And Izanami did just hit 17, so they are tied. So
it's about half a level up in ADC, likely the same, only the opposite for Kappa Corp, as Fallen has gotten a bit more active and gotten a bit more solo farm. But arguably the most important thing right now is this Horus Enting going a bit too far for some wards. As now, it looks like Geo trying to initiate onto this Discordia. Beautiful landfall. Gets the beads, but a beautiful tidal wave pushes Thanatos into the Kraken.
Izanami does get the trade kill, but Rat is up in the air. Who is his target?
It was Loshak.
No, he goes on the Morgan Le Fay, but then disengage.
Yeah, unfortunately, the rest of the team not able to actually follow up, as now we're around this gold pit for Kappa Corp. Rat still looking to try to come in, and it looks like now Papito is trying to make a stand with only one zone. That being said, Final Judgment should have been enough to secure, but Papito with just enough damage to keep Kappa Corp from getting that second Gold Fury.
Man, this is very back and forth, and it's... You were talking about how scrappy it is? For how many kills there are? You wouldn't think this is... You think this is like a slow-paced game. You would think this isn't really...
Yeah, 11 kills, 20 minutes in, you'd expect it to be slow-paced, but when you see the levels, when you see the level of farm on the carries, it tells me a bit more of the story, right? Of this has been a game full of rotations, full of scrapping, full of fighting. No carry at 20 by 20. I haven't gotten the chance to free farm. It just is how it is.
Yeah, and I've been noticing too, like a lot of people or like a lot higher level for like the SCC, SOC, SPL, supports stay in dual lane for majority of the game. Not like for a long time, but longer than they used to. I remember when they get like Gauntlet of Thieves around the 5 minute marker, they're gone and let supports or ADCs
Yeah,
do their thing. But
so
from what I've been seeing, supports kind of just stay in lane until like the 15-minute marker or even longer.
it depends on the style of comp you're going for and what you're actually looking to play around. However, looks like we have a bit of a scrap going on in mid. Geo a bit off with the hook, but Loshak getting absolutely chunked by this ROM. Looks like a few lucky crits on the sake of the ROM. And Izanami not in this fight, so they now know, Papito now knows this is a 4v5. And let's see how they try to capitalize it from Kappa Corp.
Now, I wonder, does Fallen continue and try to get the Phoenix, or does he just back and get an item? Because they do get a... No, he continues.
Yeah, no one from Papito able to come back in time. But Rat now in the air, looking for the Izanami. As a good beats, good Aegis.
Okay.
And a beautiful juke. A beautiful juke from the Rat, but he's going right into the waiting arms of Papito. As now it's just unfortunate timing from Fallen to get out of that stealth.
I feel like Fallen should have just gotten the wave because he should have expected somebody, but Rama just annihilates Loshak, and it looks like Kappa Corp.
Looks like they're still trying to go in, but the mid core should be fine.
Yeah, so yeah, it seems like everything is just kind of going at a standstill now. Are they going for fire? They do have a pretty decent lead. I think they're trying to set up for it. Oh, they are going for fire. They are kind of healthy. I mean, at least the Disco does have 3/4 HP, but Poseidon is tanking it. I feel like the Poseidon should be the one that is trying to push them away because, yeah, look at Thanatos. He's just going in the back line.
But the problem is no one can help the Thaw, as now Final Judgment being charged up, but not ripping through as it can't get there in time. As Rat now on the Thaw, up, down, and dead bird.
Rat Thanatos is up in the air, going for the Disco. Oh, Aegis is at the perfect time.
Beautiful Aegis. Beautiful Bees Aegis from Pepper, but unfortunately not quite enough for this fight.
Yeah. Oh, there goes. Oh, Izanami lives, but Rat's still going in. Rat does get the kill. Loshak is just trying to escape. I feel like he should just keep running. But he might end up dying for it. He ults, and Horus does come in. Oh, nice pushback. That's what I love about the Morgan Le Fay. Oh, and Rama snipes only hits one. That's what I love about the Morgan Le Fay. That able to self-peel. And now we are on, I believe this is the third, this should be the third, what's it called? Beacon.
Yes,
but they're opting to go for gold, which makes a lot more sense, but I feel like they should get at least the Titan started, but it's still up. It is still up, so, but they are grouping as 5, so everyone is still very healthy and have this Fire Giant. Just looking to get the farm. Now you know 3 people on blue side is level 20. Only one for Kappa Corp is the ADC, but interesting enough, Izanami is not going to crit build. Do you think Izanami is useful on crit, or is she better on just pure AA like the build?
Izanami has 2 big strengths. Her ability to weave autos through tanks, not allowing them to body block. And her ability to get in there with damage. You can't be missing those, Pepper, I'm sorry to say. But, that being said, only the first auto hit applies auto attack item effects. So Ken size, Executioner.
Needs to get out. This I don't know why Fallen is staying. He should have been long gone. Rat is up in the air. It looks like Izanami is going to be the focus. Disco beats Aegis on that. Gets the... Oh, that's a very dead Izanami.
No, it is not, as the team is around to help, but good snipes from the ROM make it to where the team is going to end up getting a jungle for jungle trade. That being said, Papito, looking for that mid laner, gets the mid laner. And
Kappa Corp on the back foot. I apologize about that miscommunication that I had. The stream that you had did freeze for just a moment, so that's what's going on here, but not a problem. You know, we're trying to figure everything out. You know, budget is tough this fiscal year. Budget is tough, so you know we can only do so much.
I mean, 2 streams up at one time, a bit rough for one computer. It is how it is sometimes. But Papito getting that dueling Phoenix, extremely potent for this team.
Yeah, and they're most definitely going to push in and get this middle Phoenix. This is going to be a huge problem for Kappa Corp to try to apply. I think they don't need a tier 2. Just fight for the Phoenix, okay? But they are going to stop. They're not going to progress. I guess Fire Giant does have maybe a couple of seconds left, but they are going for the Pyromancer just to make sure they have that bomb for the next rotation or the next push, I should say. I don't know why I said rotation. But everyone's pretty much almost full build. No, kind of. I mean, Kappa Corp is a little bit behind, but definitely that rat. Very, very interesting build. Jotuns into Hydras. And then is it Rune Forge? I'm really bad with
yeah, so it's Rune Forged Hammer, and more specifically, this is Rune Breaking Hammer. This is the one.
I do like that one a lot. I personally like that over the other one, because if you're not tanky, you're not doing that much damage to it, but I do like that one as well. Both of the Rune Forges are really strong, and it does make a lot of sense that the rat would go that because of the Acorn upgrade that he went. Very, very strong. Not a fan of alternate timeline on the disco. I mean, it might save her, it might not. For like a few seconds, but it looks like Geo is trying to get that ward vision. They can take a little bit of damage, not too much. But man, Horus still stacking that prophetic at 28 minutes. That's why I'm not a fan of prophetic. It just takes too long to upgrade. I mean, it probably also depends on the god that you are playing, but they are de-warding them. And this is all blue team. They have full control, but it looks like Kappa Corp wants to come in, but Horus is kind of pushing them out.
This is likely the last stand for Kappa Corp. You know, that last team fight is why they aren't sending anyone over. I did want to talk about this a bit earlier, but Red Pepper not having the blink makes engage much less safe.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. And the Titan just getting chipped away by the fire minions.
They did send Pepper back.
So, yeah, okay, that's fair. So they should know that there is a 4v5, but Loshak clearing mid. I don't agree with that. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know, but wow, they are starting fire, and they're aware. Rat is going up in the air.
And likely going down onto the Thoth, but yep, there he is. Yep. Up, down, and Rat should be dead as he just gets collapsed on by the rest of Kappa Corp.
They need to keep going. They just need to go.
Beautiful final judgment. Unfortunately, doesn't get anything. A bit off the mark, but the landfall causes the golden apple to bounce around.
Izanami getting that double kill, huge, and on two. Well, really, they should get it off the ADC, but I mean, getting it off 2 people at least is I'll count as a win, and they are aggressing. I totally agree with this. At this point, you just need to aggress. You cannot play back, and you just need to focus it. I don't think they can get Phoenix, but Rama is up in the air. Does
good Aegis,
off, but yeah, very nice Aegis. And that's a disengage. I do agree with that. They did get the tower. And now they are just getting out.
But it looks like Papito, not satisfied, wants to try to find a pick onto some of the members of Kappa Corp. But it looks like they'll just be able to get out.
Yep, they were just too fast. Yeah, very interesting. I didn't even notice that Thanatos did not go blink. He went beads Aegis. I can understand why, just for that rat ult and Poseidon, especially the Poseidon ult into a rat ult. That's a lot of damage. You're gonna be blinking. Blink, you missed it, you're dead. But it looks like Rat is going in, but yep, Thanatos does need to get out. And they are a full force of 5. Rat does go up in the air and is chasing Pepper.
Beautiful Izanami ult from Fallen. But
That is-
unfortunately, the rest of the team was right behind.
Yeah, that's a little rough. He kind of overstayed his welcome, in my opinion. Oh man, this is another stalemate. Blue team is going to go ahead and get that get the gold fairy for free. Wow, that's a skyrocket. But at this point, gold doesn't really matter. I mean, everyone's hitting 20, everyone's hitting full build. At this point, you're pretty much trying to get your 500 pot, your 3K pot. Just trying to farm up to get everything that you can. But interesting that they went spectral, but only Rama has the crit. I mean, it does make a lot of sense because crits do hurt, especially on Rama with that slow. And he did go Venom, so yeah, very, very strong. Loshak kind of a little far up. I think they just need to kind of play very patient and let teams kind of make a mistake. You know, that's how they can win it. Pepper.
The problem with that is Smite as a reactive game is a game that you will tend to lose, as Fallen is getting gone on by the blue team, but able to make it out safely.
Yeah, Rat is kind of in the duo lane, kind of pushing up, but Thanatos and Morgan Le Fay are there. But it looks like they want to push in. They're waiting for the wave. It makes a lot of sense. So this is... Oh, Disco taking... Oh, wow. Disco did a lot of damage to Thanatos. Wolf. Like, damn near did half his health. Very, 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 very... I can see why now. You know, even though... Well, is that a ring? That is most definitely a ring.
Yes,
for the
so
Poseidon.
the Poseidon build is standard at best. The current Poseidon solo build is the Blood-Soaked Shroud, Pythagoras Piece, Breastplate of Valor, and Shogun's Kusari, as well as Demonic Grip, and then it comes with a bit of deliberation. Some people like to build the Typhon's Fang, some people like to build the Divine Ruin, but the main point of this build is that objective shred. Poseidon absolutely shreds with this build, as we're about to see.
I can see that. Yeah, it's just blink and you miss it. It's dead. It's gone. And they do have 2 bombs, so they could potentially get 2 Phoenixes or just double bomb 1 Phoenix, and they get it pretty much 1 Phoenix for free. But wow, I mean, it makes sense. Kappa Corp does disengage because they are a force of 4 versus 2. That is not very, very good odds. And with how Kappa Corp have been playing, I don't see it going their way. So it makes a lot of sense. They are disengaging, and they get the totem or beacon. And it looks like Kappa Corp is just trying to farm up, but they can barely get out of their base. What is ZZ doing?
So what I imagine ZZ's thought process is with the increased projectile speed from the Griffin Wing, it'll allow hopefully more autos to actually throw out and the long range autos to hit more consistently. That's kind of the point of Griffin Wing. That, and it is 40 physical power compared to the 30 on a good few of these items. But what I don't agree with is not going crit on Izanami. We did have that discussion a bit earlier, as Geo is getting a bit too aggressive for my like, but that's okay, as the ROM ended up getting absolutely poked out by Fallen. But Izanami with crit tends to be better than Izanami without crit.
I will attest to that. I have done both. I've done Izanami crit and Izanami no crit. And Izanami crit, I feel like just you want to see someone dead in an instant. Yeah, that's Izanami crit. It's pretty much like on her, in almost in a sense. But I will say I mean, I love me some on her. That 1v1 king himself. But anyways, it seems like, yeah, wow, Kappa Corp taking a lot of space now. Lot of space.
Yeah,
and
they're
very reactive. So this is a very different, very different late game. I thought blue team was just going to take over, but now it seems like they're just trying to. They have to punish. They have to punish the horse. They waited too long. I don't know.
Well,
what
it's
they're
not
doing,
quite
but
them waiting too long. As Pepper hits the death scythe and almost kills the rat, who is now up onto the branches of Yggdrasil. But Fallen looking to just go in, looking to initiate with the rest of the team, but instead lands safely, lands with the boys to make sure he doesn't get anything completely gone on. But this is the time that Kappa Corp needs to push in. Geo needs to start initiating these fights. Same with our Morgan Le Fay from Loshak. Something needs to happen here before the rat comes back, and unfortunately, they just can't do it.
Yeah, they are taking their time. Just doing a little bit of damage to Loshak. Not too much damage. Loshak is pretty tanky. It's still crazy to me that solo mages can just literally build a couple of tank items, but still output an extreme amount of damage. And actually, let's pull up the damage numbers. I'm actually quite curious to see who is on top. If I had to guess, I would say Poseidon.
It's the Discordia. So Discordia has been quite the force with poking through walls and over walls, essentially playing that artillery mage style, as a beautiful landfall gets the beads off of Discordia and gets the ADC to come in, as now Fallen is looking for a bit more. As I pressed the wrong button, it's very unfortunate out here, but we are back.
Yeah. So, yep, good disengage. This is gonna be like just waiting for someone to make a mistake. I feel like that's what both teams are trying to do at this point.
Yes,
but is soloing pretty much that Pyromancer took pretty much half itself by herself. What I love about Izanami, those autos that come back do quite a bit of damage.
Yes, it's 75-30, I believe it is now, instead of the 75-25 it used to be. So it is a bit more than you're expecting. But again,
Grid win on Geo. Interesting. I have not seen a Prid win in quite some time. I feel like there were much stronger items to go for.
I've seen a resurgence in Pridwin recently in my casual and ranked games. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I do understand why Pridwin is useful, but it's not quite what you'd want from the team.
Loshak was taking a lot of damage, and they did separate. They're going on Loshak. Does Loshak get out? Loshak does have to ult, but wow, he's taking like no damage.
Unfortunately, a Dragonflight was not fast enough, but it doesn't matter when you have a red pepper. But the landfall wasn't taken down in time.
But Izanami aggressing. I don't think Izanami should aggress. I think the fight's over. I don't think Izanami should have aggressed, but it looks like, yep, Izanami is backing. I will always be an advocate for Morgan Le Fay. That self-peel, her too, can be very, very helpful in those trying to escape situations.
But the only problem now is the relic almost graveyard on the side of Kappa Corp. No Beads Aegis on your carry. No Beads Aegis on your Morgan Le Fay. No relics on Geo. And no relic dagger.
Yeah, I feel noticing. Right, yeah, that is very, very interesting. I feel like relic dagger would have been huge, especially for the relics that he did go. And neither did Horus. Horus didn't opt in to go for that as either, but they are pulling it, and they are slowly ticking it down, but blue team is saying, no, we are a force to be reckoned with.
Thanatos is up in the air, looking for this Poseidon, as a huge amount of damage from the Poseidon, but a good sprint causes Kappa Corp to end up getting this, Pepper to die, and Loshak getting low, but a good landfall pulls the Horus back in, but Horus looking for the carries on the side of Kappa Corp.
Izanami just
thankfully
needs to keep running.
Looks like Izanami does successfully make it out, but Fallen needs
goes
to live.
Fallen.
Unfortunately, Fallen gets popped with the alternate timeline.
See, that's what I don't like about alternate timeline. It doesn't save you. And there goes...
And that won't save you either, Loshak, as the rest of Papito end up pushing up. A good bomb causes the left Phoenix to go down, and it's currently a 2v4.
Dude, I think they have enough damage to end. They still have the ADC. They still have they have everybody pretty much except for the Soul Linger. They can, yeah. It's getting shredded. They just need to focus it.
Not quite yet. That's a good knockback from Geo.
Timeline,
but unfortunately, wasn't quite enough damage.
I don't like the mages going alternate timeline. I'm just not a fan of it. It doesn't save you. I know it got buffed or whatever. I forget exactly what they did, what high res did to it. But I just don't think it saves you enough. I mean, unless you're in a fight and surrounded by the team, that's the only reason. That's the only reason why it would work.
So alternate timeline is good on a few mages. Alternate timeline is good on
27 wards. I'm so sorry. I did not mean to interrupt you. I'm just shocked that this Rama overwarded way too much. 27 wards. I do apologize for interrupting you.
No, it's perfectly fine. Alternate timeline does end up working out well on mages that require you to be a bit more close in the fray, and what I will call battle mages. Zhong Kui is a good example. Alpoish, another good example of it. Thoth is not one that you should be building this alternate timeline on. The Pendulum of Ages allowing more damage more consistently is what was needed this game. Speaking of that, what else was needed this game is a Soul Reaver. You can't eat through that Horus without the Soul Reaver, and unfortunately it just wasn't there.
I just feel like, in that build, both mages actually did not go Soul Reaver. Very interesting. They went with, I can't think of that spear now.
The Spear of Desolation.
No, the other spear.
Staff
the
of
last
Mirrodin?
item. Yeah, Staff of Mirrodin.
So Staff of Mirrodin is a much more consistent pickup right now. I don't like the double flat pin rush. I think you can go either the Divine or the Desolation, and that's when you immediately go into your Ob Shard. You need that percent pin online a bit earlier to allow for that late game and mid game burst that you really need for the team.
Right, yeah, and I don't. There's still that Griffin Wing. I'm just looking at it. I gotta talk with ZZ. I'm like, Griffin Wing. You go Griffin Wing, there are so many better items to go.
So if you didn't want to go the crit on Izanami, which shame on you, that was the correct decision this game. It's a Poseidon. They don't have an actual frontliner other than Horus, right? But more importantly, with how often they were grouped up, an Odysseus bow is a bit of a forgotten item, but it can do quite a lot of damage, especially in those clumps in team fights.
Oh, absolutely. I love oboe. I mean, I still would build oboe. I mean, I know it's not as common now. I mean, most people are going to crit, but if I'm playing casuals and just want to mess around, and I'm going a stim build, like let's just say on like Rama or Cherno, I will try to see if I can fully stack up the Silver Branch. I have yet to have done that. I think the only god I have come close to was Apollo, but Apollo does, from his passive, does get quite a bit of attack speed, so that could be the reason why. But now we're just waiting on game 2 to get started.
Yeah, they did start game 2, as we are now thrown into the lobby. But that's okay. It looks like Kappa Corp is taking first pick this time.
Makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. I completely understand that. It is rough being down 0-1. It is tough, but bands coming out, they do respect the Morgan Le Fay, and pretty much the same bands on the side of the... I'm not going to even try to pronounce the name, but Papito. Yep, same standard bans, but they do. Did they ban Athena last time? But they do pick up an
no,
item.
so it ended up inverting a bit. So Baba Yaga, Kukulkan, still solid bans from Papito, but they wanted to get rid of this Athena. While in the first pick slot, we have Chernobog and Mammon being the first two from a Kappa Corp, the same standard bans, and the Morgan Le Fay getting banned, which to me is less respect from Papito and more fear of what the Morgan Le Fay could do, and it does allow them to grab this Poseidon first. Which, if it's your more comfortable pick, it's your more comfortable pick.
I wonder if Papito picks up the Ganesh, because it is open right now, and Ganesh is very, very strong. Surprisingly, has pretty decent objective secure and steal. Sorry, my dog is trying to jump on me, so if I am trying to fight my dog, yep. And she thinks she's a lap dog, and they are going back with it on her, and the Ratatasker. They're not going back with it on her. They're going back with the Ratatasker.
These are very standard picks, honestly. If you were to tell me that this was a higher level competitive game, I would believe you. Except for the Baba Yaga ban, that's a bit weird. But these are some very high contested picks. On her allows a lot of pressure from that duo lane. Rat, good global presence, exactly as we saw last game. Good fight back, good CC, good engage. The Poseidon, good objective secure and a burn. Good zoning potential, good CC, good damage on the squishier targets.
Yeah, and Kappa Corp really talking about this. Ishtar makes a lot of sense. I mean,
so
I guess the shotgun blast, and they go with Geb. Interesting. They don't pick up Ganesh. Do Papito pick up Ganesh?
I am not a fan of this Geb. This screams to me two different playstyles in duo. The Ishtar likes to be aggressive, likes to have the fight lane. The Geb relinquishes all the pressure Ishtar could have had. And it's a bit unfortunate for Kappa Corp. But I haven't seen the Geo Geb yet. So
my thought process is with Geo going on Geb is, let's just say they're fighting, early in duo, and he doesn't want to go shell, but he wants to go what's the item that makes that boosts up everyone's attack speed, that relic. Yep, frenzy. Maybe they're thinking about going a frenzy first item, and so Geb can shield, so he doesn't have to go shield. That's my thought process. I could be wrong. Who knows?
As of last game, they did both go meditation on both supports first. The Agni ban is an interesting flex pick. This could be an Agni solo. It could be an Agni mid. We have yet to see. But both of those are consistent places Agni is played right now. And all I gotta say is, as long as you don't build the standard mage build on Agni, you're gonna be a friend of mine. If you do, like my current mid laner, you suck.
Yeah, you get really triggered by someone not building.
Well, Agni is an artillery mage, but he's not the standard artillery mage. He likes Gemma Focus more than he likes the Pendulum of Ages tree. And he really likes good cooldown, good damage, and lifesteal. And the normal build just doesn't cut it.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, Agni is very, very a strong pick, but they ban out the Thor. Oh, there's the Ganesh. Wow, Ganesh almost didn't get through, but the very last pick from Kappa Corp. But the Thor pick kind of makes sense, because the Rat does have global presence. But I wonder how they're going to play this. Are they going to pick up the Thanatos again, or are they going to switch it up for global presence?
So, unfortunately, the global presence, only global presence.
Definitely confirming an Agni mid Persephone. Ooh,
this is a Fallen special on the Persephone. They do enjoy this pick quite a bit. And from how I've seen them play it, I can see why. They are very potent on this pick. And into the Agni, it allows a bit more consistent fight back and a bit more consistent poke back.
I know we talked about this last time, but Persephone is coming out of nowhere. Like, I know she might be more prioritized for the solo lane, but ooh, the Hun Bats, very interesting pick.
So
Well, nope, they're floating it. They're undecided.
they are waiting to see what exactly is going on. I do love this draft from Kappa Corp. It's a huge team fight draft. This is a we are going to go in all in as 5. We are going to press all of our buttons. You are going to die or we are going to die trying. This is exactly the type of draft that they need for this game too.
Do you think Geo goes Blink for the Blink ults? Oh, they do luck in the Hun Bats.
If he does not go Blink, we need to talk to him about why going Blink is the correct decision.
Absolutely, yeah, because that like split-second stun, especially like if he just blinks ult and Poseidon ults, that's definitely a Beads Aegis burner very, very easily. And then Humbats can come in because Humbats loves it when the enemy team does not have any beads. And really, honestly, the only person who has a CC immune ult, correct me if I'm wrong, is on her. Well, no, Chalk goes up in the air.
So most of these are CC immune ults on the side of Papito. The only one that isn't is Ogni.
You're right. Wait, Amir is CC immune?
Yes,
oh yeah, that makes
yes,
sense because he's. Yeah, I haven't. Yeah, shows you how long. How much I remember of Amir because I have not seen an Amir played in.
So, the Amir is a definitely interesting pick, but the most interesting thing about it for me is how it affects how Kappa Corp has to play around the wall. If this Ymir has pristine walls, Kappa Corp could be in a lot of trouble. The only ones that can reliably go through those walls are the Hunbots and the Persephone, both of which are the only two having leaps. Everyone else could be left high and dry. As we're getting into Game 2, Kappa Corp versus Papito. Now Kappa Corp being in the first pick slot. But what do you think of these comps, Nightmare? What are you feeling about it?
I do like the Ishtar. I know Ishtar has been coming back recently, especially with Crit coming back. Because me personally, I remember when Ishtar and Crit was meta, just unstoppable, going that shotgun and just doing 100. Going from 0 to 100 real quick. I do agree with you that this is a very strong comp, for Kappa Corp, kind of just saying, hey, we want to fight. And it kind of the same for Papito as well, because the Chalk, even though isn't, I know Chalk can be very strong, but Chalk damage, is very interesting. Can hit very, very hard. I mean, I know they recently buffed, I believe, his 1. But it seems like Chalk. Interesting start for.
So this Chalk is looking to go the Gauntlet of Thebes first, or if he goes the Stone of Gaia, I am going to have a rough time believing it. Because I don't believe it. I don't believe that's a person at that point. That's not a human being that exists. It looks like Red is getting a bit aggressive. Ooh. Oh, just trying to see exactly what's going on in duo.
Oh, but they're showing phase 2 like, hey, we're here. You want to fight? Let's go. I think Ishtar could definitely, especially with her 1. And then the 1 ability for the AoE autos, most definitely can probably win that trade out. But
I don't know, honestly. I think with the amount of corridors that Honor has to play around, Impale and possibly even the Freeze from Ymir, very, very dangerous. However, this is something I love. I love seeing the triple pull with the Ishtar in particular, especially with the Swing Shark. It's just huge damage.
I don't remember. Did they triple pull with Izanami last game?
Well, if they didn't, don't worry. I'll make fun of them for it anyway.
But they lose pressure. Wow, that's actually very surprising. Well, I mean, they pretty much the same time, but maybe like 1 second.
They clear the wave faster. But the problem is, Fallen was a bit too far back, and Geb exists, and that's not a thing that should happen.
Oh wow, Poseidon bullying that Chalk. He's just sitting on the power line. Right, which makes a lot of sense. I mean, Chalk doesn't have a great early game, but you know, the Agni, Rat, Hunbat, Persephone fights are gonna be interesting because I feel like both of the mid lanes doesn't have the greatest clear. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe Persephone is a little bit better with the clear than Agni. But I feel like Rat has better clear than Hunbat when it comes to that. But it looks like Hunbat is coming over for a gank. Is he just gonna chill for a minute? I think
he's going for the shield buff.
Yep. Okay, that makes more sense.
I am a bit surprised to see Pepper go Bumbos on the I character and then I on the Bumbos character. It's a bit interesting.
Yeah, very, very interesting. But I feel like this is a good time for Pepper to come in. You know, they do have the pressure, but comes in, leaps in. Okay, Honor's gone. That's disengage.
As fair and valid. As Loshak did get killed.
What happened?
By the blue stone and the rat coming over for Papito.
No, he didn't go blink. He went bead. So I wonder what happens. I mean, Loshak doesn't have it warded. I mean, you don't really necessarily need to. Have it warded, but that's very unfortunate because now he's gonna start falling behind, and it's not good for solo laners to be behind because if the enemy solo laner, Persephone just taking a little bit of damage, not too much, but as I was saying, the solo laners, you know, if they have a lead at a certain time, they could just start running around and not even worrying about their lane if they have a decent amount of lead, because that Chalk is a full level ahead. Now it looks like both sides of duo is just doing their buffs, which, you know, as they should. And it looks like Persephone still hasn't back and is low mana, so I mean,
they're waiting for the red buff, you know, as mid laners do. Unfortunately for Pepper, it's going to be a little bit. But that's okay. Looks like they're both trying to back. Yeah. And I imagine what's happening is... Oh, not enough.
Let's see.
For the Book of Thoth, unfortunately.
Oh, yep.
Oh, no, I already saw it. I wasn't going to make mention of the Agni playing a bad build. But that's a good shell from Geo. And unfortunately, Loshak gets gone on too by the rat. It's just both side lanes getting absolutely massacred. This is on her and Ymir having more pressure, hitting 5 first. And Red Pepper grabbing that wave a bit earlier that causes this to happen in duo. But Loshak just playing too far up and not respecting the Chalk and the rat. Beautiful steal from Red Pepper. Yeah, he's getting the wards down. He's making sure that he doesn't die a third time. The problem is how Rat can end up coming in with the ult. It makes it much more difficult for Loshak to actually have that ward consistently. and within reason. However, I am triggered a bit more, you are correct, as Geo is getting gone on by Papito, but nothing really substantial comes from it. Geo had to use ult, the shards of ice were used, and everyone is A-okay. And it looks like Fallen just either doesn't know or is giving it up intentionally. And he does. The Rat did end up stealing the shield buff again. Just steal after steal over in this dual lane on the shield buff. Papito. He's got about a half level, and oop, aha, there we go. He's about half level down, all things said and done. As it Fallen getting gone on in mid, good ult to make sure Rat doesn't continue the chase, and Rat has to use that branch of Yggdrasil to get away. Because, man, that was close. As now Red Pepper going in on the mid, but not enough mana. Good rock shield. Good 3. Oh, no, it's not. That's the standard Ymir play. As Pepper is going on this on her, gets the on her beads, gets the on her ult, just for Fear No Evil and a blink. Yes, they did. But it is worth it to alleviate pressure on your Ishtar. On her, one of those characters in this game that will most definitely allow you to snowball out of control if allowed. Especially right now. Wool. Wool. Martichoris, Oleron has a good 1v1, Soul, Kronos. If you can't tell, I'm listing off all the characters that were banned in the most recent update for Smite 10.12. Duel got a huge update, banned 32 of the most high win rate characters. Hold on, Geo's getting a bit of pressure on mid, but that's okay. Looks like Fallen's got his back with the ultimate. As now Poseidon rotates over. Early rotation from Loshak to try to get a kill onto this mid laner. Unfortunately, Hoonbots. The Hoonbots. Not quite yet. But Rat is in the jungle. Rat going up into the air. They are aware of exactly where Rat is. Good beads. Better dash from the Rat. Unfortunately, causes Fallen to take a little bit of a stumble here. But good Sunders. Better Fear No Evil from Pepper to get his support out. Forces the Rat to use their beads. And we reset back to neutral. So 2 levels up in solo, 2 levels up in jungle, 2 levels up in every role that is not mid will lead you to just strip farm wherever you can. At this point, you're trying to snowball the game as hard as possible. They're about 4,000 gold in the lead, but Loshak looking to make that rotation out early again. As now Ymir gets a nice freeze off on Loshak, good stun from the Agni, and a Kraken that was unfortunately whiffed due to the Agni dash. Rat coming into the air, looking for whoever they can get to. Likely trying to be this Persephone, but turns out to be the Hoonbots as they turn around. A good turnaround from Kappa Corp ends up killing the Ymir, but Loshak is in trade. Gets the 1v1 on Ishtar. That's unfortunate. Yep. With the amount of ward coverage they have on the side of, on this left side of the map, and the amount of people passing through, likely was a good idea that they knew, but there's not much you can do about it. When you don't have a mid laner there, you don't have a solo laner there, and you don't have an ADC there. Or if you're no evil. It's how it be sometimes. It's 50. It's 50. If I was this chalk, I would be trying to sack them off of kills. A good Fear No Evil forces out the beads from Agni, and Pepper's just trying to get something done. The Rock Shield a bit off time. Yes. They're waiting around for Rat. Agni looking to get his back off, looking to hopefully get some more life, get his Aegis online. Never mind, Agni is playing like a mad lad. Has now fallen 3 levels down, trying to take the fight into on her. Good impale. Is trying to force something out for Pepper that is currently coming over. Pepper waiting around the corner, looking for something. As on her is caught aware, but beats Aegis from Fallen causes on her to have to use his beads and his Aegis, but a good Fear No Evil just to try to kill this on her. All I have to say is that was a certified monkey toss moment. That's a certified monkey somersault moment. What are you doing, Pepper? You okay, brother? Oh, no, alright, yep, he's okay, he's out. And everyone disengages and lived happily ever after for now. Ah, this overlay was on literally the entire time. That's beautiful. As you can tell, we're very professional here.
Ooh, wow, good missed damage. Oh, good dash from the Agni and completely whipped, but wow, that actually goes really, really far. That went
Yes,
to the tier 2.
unfortunately, it does go through towers and phoenixes and all those other structures. For the most part, I think Phoenix, there might be some debate. But Persephone, one of those weird ultimates in the game.
Yeah, so 5k, roughly 5k down.
You know,
So they're not
figured out where
completely
the overlay came from. I'm sorry, the overlay was on for a lot of this. I figured out how. I pressed the button. It's unfortunate out here. But hey, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, we do apologize, chat. It's hard to pay attention. You know, we got a lot of things going on. We have a lot of smite going on. It looks like Ishtar is not going to show face. I don't think Ishtar should, because Ishtar, just like that, Ishtar will get some damage off, or get damaged upon by Rat, and just a disengage.
But a good rock shield means that they don't take too much. And a good Fear No Evil onto the Agni forces out the beast Aegis.
And a beautiful ult from the Geb. And
man,
you go, hitting
that's a good Persephone.
And that's huge, but Rat is going up in the air. It looks like he's going to go on it, and does he get the double kill? No, yet. Does not get the double kill. Amir kills Fallen.
As Loshak looks like they're trying to invade, but Rat's still in the back.
Wow, Rat is
looking for murder.
This Rat is just out for blood.
So much left.
There's so much was going on. I don't even know what exactly happened. Like, Fallen got a kill, and then well, ZZ, I should say, and then Rat killed the freaking Hun Bats, and oh my god, so much.
It's a massacre out here.
So much. Yeah, and Rat was almost got the Poseidon. It looked like Loshak almost got caught out with his pants down. Very, very unfortunate. But now, I wonder if they start warding fire and potentially looking at it at the 20-minute marker, because they do have a pretty good lead. I really hope we don't get fired for the missed, what's it called? Ooh, good impale. Has to use his shield, but Loshak just trying to do some damage. Ishtar getting the tier 1, so they know that they have the man advantage. Loshak has to peel for himself, but Loshak does go down by chalk.
And it looks like Papito just looking for Fire Giant. It looks like they're just going for it, and that is about as much as you should expect. It's, haha.
And it looks like Ishtar slowly chipping away at that tier 2. Okay, we'll get it in time.
But Geo did try for the Blink Hero play. It's how it be sometimes. As Rat finds Pepper in the back, as now Fallen is getting gone on by everyone else too.
Wow, this is a very, yes. If you have a CC comp, Rat will excel. Rat is just 7-0, and he's going the same exact build he went game 1.
A little bit of tankiness, a lot more damage and damage reduction for his team. Causes this build to be very potent right now. And especially into these mage solos like this, it causes quite a bit of disruption, damage, good health, good CC, good safety. It gives you everything you want on Rat and a little bit more.
So I think their saving grace would have to be Potentially fallen, ulting to burn someone's Beats Aegis, and then they just go for a Hun Bat's Poseidon ult. That's gonna do a significant amount of damage. I mean, tell me if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's a very, very strong combo. But ooh,
that
it
would
looks
be
like
the hopeful combo. Fallen looking to try to catch someone out on his own. Unfortunately, he gets caught out instead. The near wall was good, but the somersault is better. Is now Pepper just looking to get out. It's good to see Kappa Corp not quite out of this yet.
Yeah, they did get the vision for gold, but they are pushing them back. So this might be a free gold because they are surrounding that purple. Chalk is on that gold fury. Yep, and I don't think Kappa Corp is going to contest. Agni is just trying to push up. They just have so much vision on the duo side of map.
Like Loshak has taken Fallen's role in trying to split push. As now red team posturing around this duo lane tier 2. And likely just grabbing it for free. Good fear no evil though causes the team to be displaced a little bit. The rat around the corner looking for the carries, looking for anyone. As a good wall from Ymir causes Fallen to be out of position. But a better Kraken and a better shell causes the rat to have to back up. Sorry, rock shield, not even a shell.
Well, they're staying. Red is staying, and I find they do get health from the fire giant, so it does make kind of sense that they are staying. But good shield from the Geb. I mean, yeah, from the Geb. Ishtar kind of just taking out wave, trying to deviate pressure. Amir trying to, I guess, create some space, push him back a little bit. Looks like they changed their mind and wanted to go to tier 2 in mid. I feel like that is worth, and that's the more important call, to get rid of all of the towers.
It's first Fire Giant. Titans haven't even come out yet. Fire Giant's falling off of all of your members. You might as well get the last bit of objective pressure you can.
Oh,
good ultimate.
Yeah, very good.
Better ultimates from Kappa Corp.
Does get punished. That is the punishment that they needed. Rat not going for a 1v1 against Pepper, which is very interesting. But they are backing up. I don't necessarily think Fallen should be playing so far up because he can get punished.
He has relics. He's fine.
Okay, he does get the on her. Rat is up in the air.
But on her looking to go onto these backliners, and it's
Ishtar just shotgunning it. Wow, Ishtar just doing a significant amount of damage. Not enough damage though.
As Pepper in the back looking for this rat, unfortunately doesn't get the monkey bounce.
Does nice,
but a good pre-beads for the acorn blast means that rat doesn't get out.
That was very, very good. Now, looking at level 20s, only 2 on the red side, just the jungle and ADC. Everyone else on Kappa Corp side is kind of struggling, you know, especially Geb. Geb is pretty far behind, I would say, at this point in stage, but they do get the Pyromancer.
As a Geb, you kind of have one job, and that's to blink engage. You can kind of do that however far behind you are. Which is very helpful for our Geb. And, you know, on her going crit means he doesn't get shredded down quite as much. The Spectral also helps with that.
Well, even with his passive, I think there's a percentage as well. So even going with Spectral, he even has more.
Exactly.
Stephanie just way in the back. I feel like Fallen should have be a little bit more back. I understand that he's just trying to chip away at the Titan, but you know,
a good blink, fear no evil, causes
Amir just trying to chip away at them. On her ult,
it's just a clown fiesta.
Really hit anybody. Rat going up in the air. I guess his target's going to be Hun Bats. That's
likely to be Ishtar.
Yep, Ishtar, I miscalled it. I did not see how low the Ishtar is, but they do punish
good
the rat.
damage onto the rat.
Loshak does get out.
Ooh, so close to being a beautiful bomb to take out the Poseidon. But Kappa Corp defends. And it all hinges around this Persephone ult. Beautiful Persephone ults that cause the first bit of dive to have to rethink their choices. But unfortunately, it just isn't enough to save Fallen.
Yeah, and Agni's going a weird build. I mean, Soul Gem, third item. I mean, I know Soul Gem is very strong on Agni because, correct me if I'm wrong, Soul Gem pretty much does true damage, like the passive.
No, it is magical damage.
Well, I mean, never mind. I'll let you speak.
It is magical damage, but more importantly, Agni can proc this very consistently. And that's the selling point behind the Soul Gem, right? The amount of abilities Agni has at his disposal at any given time in the team fight will likely be around 4 to 6 with the amount of bombs he has. And that causes a bit more intrigue in the team fight, right? How many times can you run through the Soul Gem procs? Of all the characters to build Soul Gem, I'd argue there are probably 3 that do it the best. And of those 3, Agni is up there at number 2. Number 1 obviously is going to be Merlin. You know, Merlin has like 15 abilities.
Yeah, he has too many abilities. I still haven't touched Merlin. I know he's been out for quite a while. It's just like his kit, it's like weird to me. It's completely different than what you're used to. I know. I think one of these days I'm just gonna go in jungle practice and feel him out again because I have done that before, and I have a general idea. But ooh, they are
good engage. But Fallen is taking this tier 3 tower, that Phoenix and duo side. Loshak gets the kill onto the on her, but it's currently being caught out by the 2 other frontliners. And Rat ends up taking out Pepper. As now, Rat's getting gone on by the Geb, but not enough damage and good CC from the Agni.
Wait, is Loshak trying? No, is Fallen trying to
Fallen
end?
Looks like he's trying to end, but he doesn't have the creeps. And Agni now able to chase him out, trying to stop his back.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I think you just get the Phoenix back and get your items. I mean, sorry, my dog's clawing at me.
That's all right. We're not
professionals. Yeah, so yeah, I can see why he was trying to end, but I don't think even with the creeps does enough damage. I don't necessarily agree going tier 2 of tier 2 for the crit items. It doesn't really do much. It just gives you 25 power.
So
that's it.
Short Sword is by and large the worst tier 2 item in the game. Period. Hands down. No discussion. No debate. It just is. And we can fight over it, but you're going to be wrong.
Oh no, I'm absolutely agreeing with you. It provides nothing for you. So I feel like you should have kept the gooseberries. Even though, yeah, it is at the 30-minute marker. Having gooseberries at 30 minutes is a long time, but you know, it probably would provide a little bit more than having that tier 2 of short sword or long, whatever the sword's called.
Yeah, tier 2 is short sword. Tier 1 is hidden dagger.
Okay. Yeah.
But the crit tree is the end all be all. On her leaps in there. What an absolute mad lad. As he has to bees ult, but on her able to get out just perfectly fine. Rat dives in, but oh my god, it just is a massacre for Kappa Corp. But it looks like Chalk now able to get in. Loshak uses the bead as well. Rat's still alive. Honor's not dead. Oh my god, Geo is about to die.
Oh,
good PvP bomb.
This is game.
No, not quite yet. Not quite yet. As Rat just trying to keep Geo out, but now Papito looks like they're trying to push up for this mid Phoenix. 30 seconds on the next closest member from Kappa Corp, Red Pepper. This could very well be game. That's a bomb. They're going.
I think they should have. I think they should have saved it for the. Nope. Oh wow, Geb defends. Nope. Geb does not.
Geb
defend.
is looking to defend, but good shards of ice. from Ymir ends up
I think
causing
at this
him to
point
live.
he's just trying to waste time. It makes a lot of sense. Just waste time. You know, let them focus their abilities on you. On her, if they had the on her,
That was
I think that was game 100%. And they should. I mean, I understand why they used the bomb on the because they didn't have on her. But if they did have on her and they ended, I feel like they used bomb on the Titan.
So there is room for deliberation and debate on why bombing the Phoenix there probably the correct decision. If on her was there, I would have double bombed the Phoenix. If you take that out faster, you can allow more of your buttons to end up hitting the Titan, and you can allow more of all of your whole as a team to remain a bit more safe when Pepper comes back up. If Pepper comes back up. Bombs do, with backdoor protections, about 500 damage to the objectives. That's a lot.
And this rat, 11 and 2-5, just really this. I wouldn't say jungle diff, but definitely a jungle diff. I'm not trying to.
It's a bit of a chasm. It's okay, you know, it happens from time to time.
No, absolutely.
But
I mean,
giving
yeah,
this guy rat 2 games in a row, something had to have changed.
Yeah, I think they had to respect it and banned it, and maybe force them to ban Mana instead of them banning it second. But what do I know? Anyways, I wasn't in their comms, so maybe they had ideas going on if they went rat. It is working though. They are kind of shutting down the rat a little bit, but not really, because the rat's kind of just free. Not, I would just say necessarily free casting essentially their backline. He just ults in, gets in, and then gets out, and he just doesn't die. It looks like they're trying. Yeah, it looks like Red is trying to force a fight. I think they're just most likely trying to force a fight here. It is EFG, so EFG. Whoever gets this EFG, if Red gets this EFG, they probably just push it down mid. Yep. But it looks like they are kind of splitting up now. Fallen kind of trying to do chip damage. Is hitting no one.
But a good Kraken forces out the Aegis from Agni. Fallen now looking to push up with no one, no help. He is the front line now. There's now Loshak getting gone on by the Chalk. Fallen forced to use the Beast by the Ymir, solo frontlining. And on her now pushed up the farthest from his team. And this is what we call a clown fiesta. That's Rat now up in the air. Looking for the Ishtar. Ishtar is what the target was, and that's what the target shouldn't have been, buddy. As now Peppers in your backline, killing the Agni. Has to use the alternate timeline. But Agni damage goes hard.
The alternate, okay, maybe I'm wrong about alternate timeline. Maybe alternate timeline is the thing, because it did save him. Like I was saying earlier, like I said earlier, you need to have the team around you. If the team was not around that Agni's dead. Oh, but good
Aegis, better Kraken from Loshak causes the Honor and the Ymir to die.
Oh, wow! This might be game 3. Do they just take mid? I think
they can't take mid. They have to take left if they're trying to look to end here. But Rat being up in 17 seconds likely causes them to hold back a little bit. As now Loshak, the first one in, trying to get this this Phoenix down in mid, trying to equalize that pressure. Which is good, but Loshak dies.
Ooh, that's unfortunate. They can't end. Yeah, they can't end. They have to back up. But I can see
why they in the air.
Oh, Rat. Is this a wasted ult, or they just see
Rat's looking for it. Persephone whiffs the ult. Oh no, that's a huge chockle that causes Fallen to end up getting gone.
And Rat's still going in. Nope. Yep, he is. But he's looking for it. Disengage.
He's looking for the blink play. Unfortunately, not enough HP to do so comfortably. As it looks like Red Team now is starting to disengage. As I think that Blue Team's Phoenix falls again.
Oh no. But oh man, that's so unfortunate. Like
fire wave. It was just a fire wave.
Yeah, I get that, but nobody was up to stop the fire waves. Was it just 3 of them?
It was just the 3 up, and Pepper respawned after the
As
Phoenix.
it was falling. Okay. I guess I wasn't paying attention to that.
Yeah, it's very unfortunate out here. It's how it do end up being for some of our boys.
But I do like the fact that it's fire wave versus fire wave. So now you kind of equalize.
Good
it.
wall from Ymir.
Yeah. Oh, Pepper should have been punished there. They should have just collapsed on him with that wall being up, and him separated for the team. Should have punished. Loshak is kind of just chilling in mid, trying to get. Oh, he is
Looking for this Ymir, trying to find something. Kappa Corp trying to grasp onto anything right now.
Yeah, this Ishtar. Can we pull up damage numbers? Want to see how everyone's doing. Who is leading? Wow.
Of course, the Agni.
Yep. Does so much damage. But wow.
As Red Pepper looking to 1v1 the Rat, forcing out the beads. But Pepper looks like, oh my god, Rat whiffs, but it doesn't matter. It's a 1v2, Pepper.
Yep.
As Agni shows up.
The Agni with the help. So, yeah, surprising on her. It's not doing that much damage. Ishtar's kind of up there. Chalk. I mean, Chalk has, 2 defense items, and, look at those numbers. Like 24k. Maybe.
Well, 3 defense items. Alright. Stone of Gaia isn't a damage item.
Oh, you're right. Well, it's a health item, I believe. It's just, it gives you MP5 and HP5.
It's a utility item. It's a defense item. As Loshak getting caught out by Papito, and that's a beautiful pillar.
Where
that's the god pillar. That's what we call in the business a god pillar. That is unfortunate.
And look at the timers. 63 seconds for Loshak. So now we're at the point of the game where if someone dies, they're going to be gone for quite a while.
As now Z is getting gone on by the Rat and the Ymir. Unfortunately, not enough utility in that ultimate to get fallen out. A bit too split.
They still have 35. They have 30 seconds on the. Oh, they're just gonna go for. I think the game plan is go for left side and then go for Titan because they have 20 seconds. They have a full team. They have EFG. They are going to shred this Phoenix. If you blink, you miss it.
Yes, but
look at that.
Red Pepper with a beautiful blink ult onto the back line. As now Persephone, huge ult as well. Unfortunately, not quite enough CC, not enough damage to kill the on her. As Phoenix falls. But Loshak's back up.
This is a huge problem.
Good Aegis from Agnes. Immunes out all of the damage from the Kraken.
Wait, he Kraken? I was not even paying attention.
Loshak did Kraken the Agni, caught him out. Didn't have beads, but an Aegis will do just fine.
I think at this point he should have saved his Kraken for this fight when the Phoenix is coming up, not when. But
that's a beautiful Gebel into the whirlpool on her, almost dying as Rat now blinks into the hole of Kappa Corp, makes it out. But Loshak looking to try to get some damage onto the Agni. The Agni makes it through the Blades of Retribution. No stun from the Ishtar.
And look at that, on her back to full health. That's what I love about Devos. Devos just gives you so much lifesteal. I mean, not really that much, but also
25% from Cowl and Devos combined. A solid 100 power from both items. Good amount of attack speed. Huge amounts of power on the passive. It's kind of all you want, really.
Man, this is getting to the point where, yep, wow, look at the Agni. Agni has the 3k.
And so does the Rat.
Oh, that's going to be a lot of damage. You're going to blink and miss your health. Wow. All of Red Team, look at that. Look at the damage change. All of Red Team just skyrocketed and Blue just
But now, Rat in the air looking for the Ishtar. Dunks down, misses the Ishtar, but gets the beads and the Fear No Evil. As now the rest of Papito looking to try to catch someone out in the jungle. Pepper is the prime suspect, number 1. But now it's fallen. Good lead.
What are you doing, Loshak? Loshak, don't back.
Loshak backs.
Oh,
but Fallen gets the alternate timeline proc, gets the ult off, for the honor. Good Blades of Retribution causes Fallen to get some peel for himself, but the Aegis wasn't quite good enough, as a good attempt from Geo trying to save their ADC, as now Pepper is into the backline, gets the Agni's alternate timeline, but unfortunately all 5 of Papito are just here and ready to fight.
I don't know what's taking them so long. They have Fire Wave. Oh, they do get rid of Fire Wave.
They're waiting for Rat to go up into the air, looking to try to force back Kappa Corp. But Kappa Corp needs to push up here. Rat keeps the Poseidon out, but the Geb tries to make the hero play and doesn't have the ult. That's a 2-0 for Papito against Kappa Corp. 41-minute banger of a game.
Yeah, that was very, very back and forth. I thought that was going to be over around the first EFG. I did not think it would last that much longer.
Kappa Corp does well at causing the game to be separated out quite a bit, but it just wasn't enough. They weren't able to capitalize on the picks they ended up getting, because the ones that got picked were great, but the ones on Kappa Corp that got picked in trade made it to where they couldn't actually capitalize.
Yeah, wow, Fallen with a lot of wards. I mean, do you think those were all bot wards, or is it the ward chalice?
So Fallen, the mid laner, and Geo both had to have bought those wards. They did not have a ward chalice. However, Pepper and Loshak both did have ward chalices.
Do you think Fallen spent too much, gold for all those wards?
So. I think in mid in particular, in most carry roles, we are kind of taught to save our gold for power spikes instead of wards. But if those wards were causing safety, allowed for more consistent farming, allowed for more gold in pocket, then it's perfectly fine to spend however much money on wards in the early to mid game as you want. But I imagine a lot of these were in that late game. A lot of these were from Fallen warding the jungle around Fire Giant, trying to push up with the rest of his team.
Right, and look at ZZ, only 8 wards. That's kind of disappointing not seeing double digits. I mean, Agni as well, 7, but looking at our side, 17, 14, 20, 22, he definitely should have warded a little bit more. At least 10. For how long that game was, at least 10.
There is a problem looking at ward numbers, wards placed, and contribution in team fight. So, Fallen used their Blades of Retribution ultimate, used their CC quite a bit to cause a lot of disruption in the middle of the fights. And a lot of the times when he was getting dove, it wasn't a knowledge issue. It wasn't the fact that they didn't know. It was just that Papito were so quick in their initiation that it caused them to be unable to react.
Right. That's... Yeah, very unfortunate for the boys, getting 0-2'd or 2-0'd. Very unfortunate. Kind of, I wonder how they're going to feel about it, what they can improve on, all that kind of stuff. But, I mean, they did show that they can survive.
Yes, but unfortunately in Smite, surviving isn't everything. You need to find ways to be proactive on map. If we saw, after Papito got the Fire Giant, we saw Kappa Corp end up trying to headhunt someone in enemy jungle, or trying to make some form of grouped up hero play. Likely this game could have been prolonged a bit longer, possibly had some equivalent power spikes, some 3k pots on both sides, and maybe they could have brought us to game 3. But I do believe that is it for us on the cast. I don't believe this was a best of 5, but we can be told otherwise. Assuming people are actually
oh my God,
talking to us. Sorry about the overlay. That was a keybind that I forgot about, and I will have to change relatively soon. That caused it to go to one of my things for stream.
Nah, it's all right. You know, we don't get paid enough here. You know, we get small raises.
Well, no, it's not just a small raise, and also, wait, you're getting paid?
Oh, wait, you're not?
Yeah, no, I'm not a manager, man. I'm just an employee.
Mm-hmm. Well,
I need to talk to my manager about that.
Yeah, definitely. I'll talk to Loshak for you about that. Anyways, stream. Thank you so much for tuning in. You know, sorry for the little technical difficulties, but you know, hey, we're not professionals here. You know, we're just trying to have fun, trying to learn how to cast. Again, thank you so much for tuning in, and we appreciate you guys. And feel free to always join our Discord. If you just type, I believe it's !Discord, you will get our link to our Discord server. So feel free to join and come hang out with us. And I do believe we're trying to get confirmation if it is a BO3 or BO5. So we're just going to take just a brief moment.
Well, looks like we got that. That is it. That is confirmed to be it.
That's it.
Geo, how are you doing? Hello, we have Geo, the support player for Kappa Corp.
For
just
this
joined
post-game
us.
interview. Actually, surprise.
Just a surprise. Oh, and we have Pepper as well. Wow, just
yeah, we have
two of
Pepper
them.
and Geo are for our post-game interview. So, boys, how was the set? You know, it's the 2-0 could be a bit disheartening for some, but I imagine for the talented people at Kappa Corp, shouldn't be as disheartening as maybe some others. There's some good things to learn from this set, and some things that we could all definitely see some improvement on. How you guys feel?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. Yeah.
Do either one of you have any comments? Are you guys like just frustrated? I understand it could be very frustrating losing 2-0, but you know,
As Nightmare did lose their set 3-0, I'm pretty sure.
yeah,
so.
yeah. That I don't want. Yeah, I have nightmares about that still. That was not fun.
Well, in a brief message, I don't mind getting 2-0. You know, it is a game. There's a lot of other things that I saw that frustrated me, but
Hey, fair enough.
that's for another time.
Another time, another place, and not worthy of being on this nice little interview. But I do have to ask, the Geb top 3, can you walk me through what was going through your head for that?
Loshak believes in Geb.
Fair enough.
Loshak believes that he's a good pick.
And Geb can definitely be a good pick. I could see where this comp was going for. But were you thinking Ganesh? I just have to ask.
But here's the question for you, Geo. Do you think it's a good pick?
I think it's a good counter pick. And how we play, I don't think Geb fits how we like to play.
That's fair. You know, I can totally understand that. I mean, you guys did have moments where it could have went your way, but you know, it is very unfortunate. You know, it is tough losing, you know, your matches. I completely can attest to that. But you know, just learn from your mistakes.
Well, also to speak on the positives from that set, I saw a lot of good initiation, some good engages from both Pepper and Geo. I saw a lot of good attempts at self-peel and attempts to rile back from both Fallen and Z. And I saw quite a few good Krakens to try to grab the relics off of the carries for Papito from Loshak. There was a lot of good to be had, but the set did go 2-0 Papito, but some good smite overall. Some fun and competitive smite to be casted here today. But that is going to be it from us on the cast, and we hope all of you have a good day at work. Now get back to work.
Yes, sir.